Good morning, I'm John Ellsworth with Success Strategies. I'm the founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. And I want to welcome you to a presentation that I'm entitling, What Just Happened? Actually, this is based on an article written by author Seth, who has a number of books out, all of which are excellent, and I highly recommend them. But this came from it's been a little bit edited with some individual commentary to update it, but this was written 5 or 6 years ago at least. And he started out by saying that the recent poll shows that Americans are very frustrated and they're very somewhat pessimistic about the future. They're just impatient with the economy, what's happening there. The reality is, though, is that the internet and the microchip has created a lot of change, and a lot of change very fast. To some, things are basically out of control. You know, maybe you find yourself at times saying, I wish I could slow things down and I could make better decisions as a result. But I'm telling you that following the old instructions, the way we used to do things, is not any longer enough to win. If you want to win, we got to get on a new wavelength of thinking. He goes on to point out that politicians, and this will sound just like today, of course, following the pandemic or in the middle of the pandemic, depending on where we are at this time you watch this, politicians tell us it'll get back to normal. He said, don't believe it. That's just not true. The old jobs are gone. Little changes these days those old days are gone. It's time to step up and realize that we have a bright future ahead of us, but it's a different future. It's not the one that your grandparents lived and your parents lived. So some people are saying, he added that some people are saying, let's go back to business fundamentals and get back to business basics. And he goes on to point out, you would almost think he wrote this during the pandemic of the last year or so. He goes on to point out that this will not happen. We are truly in a different game, as I pointed out in my last video about Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. The point is, though, all industries are changing, sometimes faster than we like. And I'm a big advocate of change, but I'm more of an advocate of let's get with the change and use it to our advantage as a business person. As Seth pointed out a long time ago, and I quote, it's not fair, but it's all we've got. Sooner or later, we realize that the world has changed. And the sooner we accept it and make something of what we've got to work with, the better off we'll be. And he wraps up by saying, whining is not a scalable solution. End of quote. So I want to ask you a couple questions. As you look at the new year, what changes do you need to make in your business, in your life? What do you need to do differently than you have in the past? As you look at the new year, this is really a great time to test some new ideas. I'm working with clients, my own clients, to develop what I'm calling upstream thinking, and it's based upon a brand new book called Upstream, recently published by Dan Heath. It's an excellent book, and I highly recommend you read it. It changes the way you think about some things, and if you want to learn more, you'll be hearing more through videos this year, but if you want to learn a lot more, I suggest you sign up for some of our programs, and you will get a large dose of this upstream thinking. But I think it's an exciting time. Things are not going back, as Seth so accurately stated 5 or 6 years ago. They're not going back to where we used to be. They're going forward. And my recommendation is adopt this new change, adapt your style to it and your thinking as well, and you will indeed be better off. Again, I'm John Ellsworth with Success Strategies. I'm the founder of Success Strategies Incorporated, creator of Success Strategies Advantage, and I want to wish you the very best in the coming year. And thank you for listening.